Hi, my name's Adam, and alongside my teammates Jaro and Shubo, we are Team TBD, and today we're going to talk about the digital transformation strategy for UPS. I'm sure you're all familiar with this company as they are the largest parcel delivery service in the United States, beating out rival FedEx and even the United States Postal Service. They were founded in 1907, and they've established a worldwide footprint that earned $74 billion in revenues last year. With almost 500,000 employees, many of whom are unionized, the company operates on a massive scale, which makes managing logistics and operations very challenging. So what are some of the key obstacles that they're facing? Well, for one, their operating expenses are incredibly skewed towards labor and compensation. 59% of total expenses, which is over 20% more than FedEx, who is their closest rival. Their distribution facilities are also a little bit behind FedEx. In 2018, only 50% of their warehouses had any amount of automation in them, which compares to 96% for FedEx. So while UPS currently has the lead, there are major challenges for them to overcome, especially since they're very dependent on Amazon. Amazon currently makes up 12% of total delivery volume for UPS. And if Amazon was to launch their own delivery service, or if they're going to outsource more of their delivery to FedEx, that could be very damaging to UPS. So now is the time for UPS to embrace new technologies. I'm going to pass it over to Jubo for our next step.
Thank you, Adam. So under the big background of the fourth industrial revolution, the warehouse robotics is the clearest way forward for deliveries companies. Before we go over this part, let's watch a video. So in this area, like Adam said, companies like Amazon are already far ahead. With the help of robots like Kiva, Amazon has previously reduced their operating costs by 20% more than $22 million per warehouse. UPS a little fall behind, but it's not that late to catch up with. UPS should substantially increase their investment in automation of their sorting process, especially cutting-edge robot technologies for packing, loading, and unloading purposes. It is suggested to cooperate with the companies like Boston Dynamics, which is already designing robots with these specific tasks. The benefits to this technology are obvious. Not only would it help reduce operational costs and increase sorting efficiency, but also help avoid employees get involved into dangers. The cost is always the most important thing. Our team has created a 5-page project financial document that demonstrates the quantitative impact that digital transformation will have on UPS. This page shows the financial improvements between robotic warehouse and the traditional warehouse at the individual warehouse level. And the page 2 and 3 were the annual financials which detail our fully transformed robotics warehouse. As Professor Irving suggested, we also added one more investment in technology which we missed before and make it more make sense. Thank you for that. And the last 2 pages shows this transformation across the entire company's 200 total warehouses. And here are some important indicators. The cost saving on the labor is about $7 million, and the net profit for the first year is about $14 million. The static payback period is 6.6 years and the dynamic payback period is about 10 years. Finally, our project ROI is 11%, which shows a tutorials but bright development way. The next part is going to move to risks. Let's move to Jiarong.
We separate risks by just 2 times 2 metrics. There are third-party supplier risk, robot security risk, employee satisfaction risk, and external PR risk. Perhaps the biggest risk is employee dissatisfaction due to job loss and change, especially since UPS has a unionized workforce. We plan to redistribute as many jobs as possible for eliminated positions, to offer compensations to employees who cannot be retained, and to work with the employee union proactively to best serve those employees who are apprehensive about change. UPS is not a robotic manufacturer, so we will be outsourcing all of our robots. At the same time, we will aggressively pursue the best external candidates to join UPS and help us create the best implementation plan and programming strategy for our robot workforce. We are expecting in 4 months to begin introducing robots to UPS warehouse. This plan will cover demand, design, development, and testing phases. The robots that we will be introducing into the warehouse will be primarily developed by a third-party company, Boston Dynamic, which will be primarily vendor partner in undergoing this digital transformation. We do not intend to outsource the coding and the testing process, but rather to rely on UPS internal expertise. This will be key since this is the first rollout, and if it's successful, there will be more rollout across the country. And having an in-house team of experienced expertise will be very valuable. And let's move to Adam.
Thanks, Jiarong. So let's conclude with a brief recap of the key highlights of our transformative technology. The most important thing, as Jiarong said, is to find the best candidates, to locate them near our test warehouse to create the first UPS robotics team. This team is going to lead the company into their brave new world, so it's crucial that they're staffed with the best and the brightest. They'll be in charge of the initial prototype warehouse, where sorting and loading robots will replace human labor wherever possible. After our 4-month test period ends, we'll begin scaling the process up to the rest of the company based on the successes and failures, taking that feedback into account, iterating and improving upon the initial prototype warehouse. With approximately 200 warehouses in the United States alone to retrofit, it's going to take years for the project to complete, so it's crucial to get off on the right foot to set the company down the right path going forward. At the end of the day, the robotics warehouse provides faster, more efficient, safer, and less costly processes for UPS. The long-term bottom line savings are projected to be around $16.8 billion annually in operating expenses once the robotics transformation process is complete. And as just a single piece of a larger digital transformation, this could be huge for the company. As robotics technology continues to improve, those savings could even increase. This transformation is not going to be quick or easy, but it is absolutely necessary towards building a better future for UPS. So once again, we've been Team TBD, Adam, Jiarong, and Shubo. Thank you for your time, and we'll open the floor to questions.